Alright guys, so the next step for our week 1 core is going to be creating our enemy. We're going to go ahead and hover over, choose a sprite, click on the paintbrush tool, and we're going to rename this alien. You could also name this enemy if you would like, it's up to you. But once you finish changing the name, it's going to be similar things as we create our spaceship. Now, it's up to you to decide. You can either create an alien spaceship, or you can actually just create an alien itself, okay? So when you're creating the alien, just make sure that it's facing down, the same way our spaceship was facing, just to make sure that everything is the same in setup, so that when we code, we won't have any issues. Also, because our alien is going to come from the top, we want to make sure that they're facing the correct way as well. So now that we have that in mind, again, you guys have the two options of either using the shape tool and the reshape tool in order to create your alien, or using your brush tool. So another thing that I like to do too is, if you notice, I like to use certain colors and also certain shapes. What I mean by this is, if I'm making a hero spaceship, I want to use bright, fun colors that makes you feel like, hey, this is an awesome hero, like I feel safe with him. Versus an alien that's supposed to be creepy and scary, I want to use darker colors, colors that are a little bit more scarier, like reds and yellows. And also the shape of it too, I want to make it sharp and scary, so that the player knows, hey, this is an enemy and I have to take it down. So to start off, I'm going to go ahead and start creating the body of my alien. So I like to break it up into pieces so that it's easier for me to start creating it. So just going to go ahead and pick my colors for my alien. So again, I'm using these dark colors, and I'm also going to add an outline too, since I added an outline for my actual character. Okay, and now I'm just going to create a circle. Once I have that, I can use my select tool and I can make the outline just a little bit more thicker. Okay. Now that I have this, probably going to use this to create another circle. So if this is the body, I want to create the face. So this is going to be my face, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down a little bit. Move it a little bit to the side. And here I have my face. Now I can use my reshape tool and kind of start changing the shape of it a little bit more to make it look more like a creature for my alien. And like I said, you guys can go ahead and play around with different parts of it in order to create what you want. So maybe I want to make this pointed instead of smooth to make it more sharp. Maybe now I want to create my eyes, so I'm going to use yellow. Again, still keeping it dark. And then let's give it 3 eyes, so I'm going to copy and paste it. Okay. To add more cool effect to the body, maybe I'll go back with my select tool and I'll use a gradient to add more color to it. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. And I can choose a different gradient that I want from it too. Maybe this one too, I'll add a little gradient, and I'll make the gradient a little bit different as well, but still keeping that dark theme. So now that I have the main body of my alien, the next thing that I want to add is going to be the legs or arms, or however my alien is going to be moving. So a good way to do this is creating a shape and creating what you want to be the legs and arms, and doing it in a separate area. So for right now, maybe I want to use this, and I created it in a separate area. I'm going to use my reshape tool and start moving stuff around to start changing the way it looks. Maybe I'll delete one of these dots to make it sharp. And then once I have it, maybe I want to change the direction of my shadow. Okay. And then once I have it, here is my leg. So now all I need to do is, I can even change the color a little bit too. So maybe make this a little bit lighter, just to make it a little bit different. And now that I have it, I can go ahead and position it in the body. Remember, we can always move it back if we need to. And now I can go ahead and copy and paste it because I'm going to be using the same legs. And I can also use this rotate tool so I can position it exactly where I want. So now that I placed it exactly where I wanted for my first two, I can go ahead, select both of them by making a square with my select tool, clicking on copy paste. Now I have my other two legs. I can flip it horizontally so it's facing the other way, and then I'm going to place it and then move it back. And then here I have the legs. The last thing that I want to do is add any teeth for any sharp marks or anything else like that. So to do this, I'm going to create a square, and this time I'm going to change the color too. So maybe I'm going to make it a little bit of a lighter yellow. So that kind of looks a little bit nasty. I'm going to make a square using my select tool. Just going to change it like that. And now I'm going to take my reshape tool. I'm moving one of them to the center, and the other dot I'm just going to delete so I can make my teeth. I can even add something else to it too to change it. And then I'll change the size so that's a little bit smaller. So now that I have my teeth, I can go ahead and copy and paste it, and then I can start adding it to my player. Okay, maybe I want to change the shape of it a little bit more. Copy, paste. We can even give it more, because again, I can always move it to the back if I need to. So that I can create different layers. And then maybe I want to add some to the back of my creature. Here and here. Maybe changing some of the sizes of it too. Okay. Oops. Okay. And now that my creature is done, again, making sure I'm still doing the same thing as my ship, where I'm making sure that it stays inside of the box and it's not cutting through, and none of my pieces are. My creature is all set. So now I can use my brush tool, and I can go ahead and add extra details if I want to. So I can add more lines. Maybe I want to go ahead and add some white to it. So some white to the eyes to make that shiny. Maybe some colors here. Okay. And here I have my monster. So again, you guys can use the shape tools in order to create this, and the reshape tool, another thing that you guys can do is the same way I showed you the second way to do the spaceship, which is you can just draw your creature using your brush tool, and then you can add colors and any extra details as well. So however you want to create your game is up to you. You just have to make sure to take your time with it, add all the different layers and the different colors in order to make your creation come to life.